do you want to live in a country, because this is what this election is really all about. Do you want to live in a country where we're furthering the hatred of one another and we're codifying it? We're making it part of our law. It's part of the mantra. You know, people didn't like Donald Trump because they said he was going to cause violence. Violence is already happening. You may not know it if you just listen or watch the mainstream media, but it's already happening. You look at what happened over last week. 18-year-old kid run over by a car. Why? Because the guy is a maniac, most likely an alcoholic. They were having a political argument. He gets into the car. He leaves, all in a huff. He sees the boy call somebody. He immediately thinks he's a Republican extremist, and he's calling to get his extremist friends to come kill me. So he runs him over and then calls the police himself. He leaves the scene of the crime, and he calls the police himself and says, I just hit and possibly killed a extremist Republican. Is this the kind of country you want to live in? There was an 83-year-old woman going door to door, passing out pamphlets and talking about Proposition 3 in Michigan, which seeks to enshrine abortion rights in the state's constitution. She was shot. She was 83 years old. She was in a conversation, I guess a heated conversation, at a residence in her neighborhood. The man who shot her was not involved in the conversation. The victim doesn't know his identity or motive, but she had to drive herself to the hospital. She had to drive herself. She's an 83-year-old woman. She leaves your door. Somebody in your neighborhood shoots her, and there's no one to take her to the hospital? She has to take herself? Is this, I don't care who that is. I don't care who comes to your door. You don't shoot people, let alone an 83-year-old woman. Is this the America you want? Hillary Clinton this weekend compared Trump supporters to Nazis. God, if we didn't have such a bad school system, there's a reason why they buried the Nazis. They buried them in education because we brought a lot of Nazis over here. After the war, we brought all the top scientists over. Oh, well, we're afraid of Nazis, but not that afraid of Nazis. And they made Nazis into the big boogeyman because the left prefers communism. But it's the same thing, except one's a public-private partnership, which is exactly what the World Economic Forum and Joe Biden are pushing for. When they say democracy is at stake, they mean democracy. They don't mean the republic. They want one man, one vote, and that's the way fascism always starts. You can vote, and they'll vote in who they want, and then there's no more vote. That's why we have a republic. I wish I pray that people will wake up. I pray that people will do their own homework. People are rediscovering the Constitution and the Declaration. And that's a really good thing. Rediscover your faith. To really know what's true, you really have to start at the beginning. And if you don't have a faith, I urge you to find one. But if it's just not for you, okay. What were the things that your parents or your grandparents taught you that you know to be true? Just behave that way. Just the things that we all used to know were true. Do that, the next right thing.